Welcome back. All right, so the first game of the night is done. The second game of the night is yet to come. The playoff picture doesn't really change a lot with this result tonight. Pittsburgh is tied for that last playoff spot, but Detroit has a game in hand. So it's Nedeljkovic versus Samsonov. The early edges for the Penguins. They're kept to the outside. More zone time for the Penguins. This was really a game of momentum shifts. The Leafs, again, keep them to the outside. There weren't any shots on goal 3 minutes into this game. It was low event at times as well. Raquel has a net drive that saved. The Leafs get some zone time at 5 minutes, but the shots are 2-0 Pittsburgh, 5.5 minutes in. O'Connor tips one wide as the Penguins get some pressure. The Leafs press again at 6.5 minutes. Near miss for Bertuzzi. Marner to Tavares near miss, which was part of the story of this game too. There was a lot of almosts, a lot of passes that almost click, and a lot of plays that it just good fortune didn't favor those who were offensively minded in this one. So shots are only 2 apiece at 9 minutes. We get a power play for the Penguins. There's an early clear, and again, that power play is really hurting their playoff chances too. Bunting has a one-timer that's held. Rust fires one wide from the slot. There's a failed clear. They cycle late, but it's killed off 2 shots for the Penguins on that power play. Penguins go right back to the power play. Crosby's denied early. Samsonov minus the stick. However, the Leafs get a 2-on-1, which allows Samsonov to retrieve his stick, but that 2-on-1 miss fires. The Leafs failed to clear Penguin cycle, but that is killed off as well. The shots are 8-2 for the Penguins with 5.5 minutes left, which makes some sense. They had the back-to-back power plays and all. Marner has a shot that's blocked as the Leafs get some pressure. Matthews has a sharp angle shot, near miss there. Leafs press after that. Holmberg had a net feed that was also held. The Leafs press with 2.5 minutes left, and the momentum had shifted, but the Penguins open the scoring. At 18:06, Raquel turns around and wires one from the left circle. Malkin with the assist, and that was after a failed clear by Toronto. That is the 200th career goal for Rickard Raquel, so kudos to him for reaching that mark. Matthews has a near miss from the slot. There's a near miss for Bunting, who was very prominent in that first period. He had 4 shots, and the first penalty the Leafs took, Bunting drew it. So it's 1-0 Pittsburgh after 1. Bunting had to feel pretty good. Second period, Lyubushkin has a one-timer that's blocked. Leafs had the early edge. Domi to Bertuzzi, that gets blocked as well. Joseph defending well on Matthews, which I thought was saying something. Joseph had a long shift out there, a shot block as well. And he was basically told, I guess, to blanket Matthews, or that's just his job, right? You're going to defend on 34 tonight. All right, fingers crossed. So, Brody has a shot that's blocked. The Penguins then clear. There's more pressure by the Leafs at 4 minutes. The fans call one. The referee does not, which was part of the theme tonight. Penguins not giving a path to the net despite all that zone time. We're 5.5 minutes in. The Penguins had just iced the puck, and the shots were only 2-1 for Toronto. However, on the following face-off victory, the Leafs get a goal. Nyes off that face-off win, buries one. Brody and Riley with the assists at 5:36. So very quickly after that face-off, they get the goal. Nylander then has a turnover chance that's saved. Matthews to Bertuzzi gets blocked. The Penguins rush. Things get pushy on a hold by Samsonov. We get a power play for the Penguins. Rust's denied. Penguins cycle. Carlson has a shot that's held. Then Marner has a fast break that draws a penalty to make it 4-on-4 for 21 seconds. The Penguins clears. The power play starts. Marner's denied on a rush. There's a shorthanded fast break for Rust that's saved, but that strong shorthanded play by Pittsburgh makes it a 41-second 4-on-4. So again, it's a bit of an issue with just so many penalties here, which was not the storyline in the third period. Penguins did press after that power play is killed off. There were opportunities both ways during that power play as well. The shorthanded rush by Bertuzzi showing that, when you got a struggling power play, you can be prone to giving up those rushes the other way as well. So, Crosby has a net feed that's picked off. The shots are 8-7 Toronto with 6 minutes left. Crosby gets ridden into the boards by McCabe. Penguins get a power play with 3:22 left. Crosby's knee looked like it might have been messed up, but it turned out he needed to change skates. So, he doesn't have the blades that fall out either, so they just switch skates out. But he stays on the bench. Early clear, and again, the Penguins set up. They cycle. Letang has a shot that deflects out. Rust nearly buries one. It's cleared out again. Bunting's denied late. And then with 1:17 left, the baffling penalty. Crosby draws a 4-minute power play, and it looked like a stick hit him right in the face. Right? The thing is, the puck hit him in the face, and the stick was hitting the puck. So technically, it's not a high stick. And technically, that's the correct call. Although it is a baffling and bewildering one if you're a Penguins fan going, seriously? Yeah, by the letter of the rule, the stick itself didn't touch his face, just the puck's right there. So, yeah. Anyways, the replay showed that, so no penalty. 48 seconds left. Crosby and Matthews collide. I'll agree with Craig Simpson on this one. I'm not sure why they blow the whistle there. Not sure why. I guess they were worried Crosby might be injured, but he said, are they going to blow the whistle every time Crosby gets hit? There are sound bites that exist forever in the ether, and I think that's going to be one of them. Anyways, Nyes has a rush that's defended. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period, early press by Toronto. Matthews has a chance that's held. The Leafs draw a power play, and they score on it very early, too, like 3 or 4 seconds in. Matthews scores. It was a face-off win and is buried from the point. Tavares with the assist at 1:22. That is goal number 65. That ties Ovechkin for the most goals anybody's had in the NHL in a very long time. Leafs press for another. McMahon to Marner near miss. More pressure by the Leafs at 3.5 minutes. The shots are 4-1 for the Leafs 4 minutes in. The Leafs are forechecking. Holmberg has a chance that's held after some good forechecking gets that turnover. Domi has a net feed that's blocked. There's a shoulder save on a Domi chance that was on a 2-on-1 with Bertuzzi. Penguins press at 7 minutes. Letang fires one wide. O'Connor and McCabe a little bit unfriendly on a whistle out there. Lots of whistles in that third period. The chances were not frequent at that point in the game either. It had really dropped off. This was very playoff feeling, and it felt like overtime already, even though it was a 2-1 lead for the Leafs. Matthews has a sharp angle shot that deflects out. McCabe fires one wide. The Leafs are controlling this game, but they're only up by 1. So again, being in control of the game and having the momentum, as we'd seen after the first period that the Penguins played almost a perfect road game, then the Leafs end up tying it up, right? So, Eller fires one high. Smith has a shot that's held. Shea has one that's held as well. And then, after a good forecheck by the Penguins, they do tie it. At 13:38, it's O'Connor from Joseph and Crosby. The puck gets behind Samsonov, and O'Connor tucks it in. Penguins then look for the lead. They had the momentum back, and they definitely had some really good shifts after tying the game. Malkin with a stretch pass to Bunting, near miss. If he'd got that puck, he was in alone. The Leafs clear on the second attempt, and we end up going to overtime. The Penguins tied the Wings with a point. I had to make sure that was on the board. The Leafs 7-7 in overtime this year. Penguins 3-8 in overtime this year. Penguins controlled early. O'Connor has a chance that's defended. Doesn't get to the net. The Leafs take over. They set up, and McCabe just kind of walks in. He had lots of space out there. Matthews and Marner with the assists at 1 minute and 30 seconds. And a lot of praise was given by the commentators about the fact that Bertuzzi did not jump on the ice. It would have been too many men. So, yeah, the Leafs end up getting the win here. They go to 45-23-9 with the 3-2 overtime win. With the loss, Pittsburgh 36-30-12. So, it will be interesting to see how things go for the Leafs from here. But yeah, this is a very, very interesting season that we're witnessing. And of course, for Pittsburgh, like I said, they now tied Detroit. Shots on net, 10-5 Pittsburgh in the first, 9 apiece in the second, 12-8 Pittsburgh in the third. Toronto only needed 1 shot in the overtime. Final shots, 31-23 Pittsburgh. Power plays, the Penguins 0 for 5, Toronto 1 for 2. The hits were 31 apiece. Nedeljkovic saved 20 out of 23. Samsonov was excellent, 29 saves on 31 shots when he was tested. And I thought the Penguins played a good game. They might have deserved a better fate. They don't get there. That's not how that works in the National Hockey League. And now we'll see what Detroit does tomorrow when they're at home against Washington. Pittsburgh has to hope both teams lose in regulation. It's not really how that works, but keep your fingers crossed if you're a Penguins fan. For the Leafs, the hope that maybe they'll catch Florida is still there. Florida is tomorrow. They're at home against Ottawa. So you need to be cheering for Ottawa tomorrow if you're a Leafs fan, while the Leafs are in New Jersey tomorrow. So back-to-backs and all that. Let me know your thoughts about this game in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.